Good afternoon, friends. Daily Summary March 18. Two missiles Tochka-U flew to Melitopol, one damaged the gas pipeline, the second fell. Lined with an air defense system, to a non-residential area. The ships of the Russian Black Sea Fleet are going into camouflage mode, license plates are being removed from the ships, preparing for a landing operation, but where exactly the operation will take place and when is unknown. From the city of Nikolaev they write that a train with fuel and lubricants equipment was destroyed there. In addition, the location of the 79th Brigade was destroyed. In the city of Lvov, it seems that an airfield was bombed, and definitely the Lvov aircraft repair plant, where, by the way, 3 MiG fighters of Azerbaijan were being repaired. A destroyed ammunition depot near Voznesensky is on fire. In Velikotolinsky, a suburb of Odessa, the depots of the armed forces of Ukraine were destroyed. In Kharkov, the Institute of State Administration, which was used by the territorial defense, was destroyed. The building of the SBU was destroyed in Kramatorsk. The Russian combat vehicle MLRS Smerch destroyed a military training ground in the suburbs of Zaporozhye and, in addition, according to the coordinates of the place of concentration of Ukrainian troops in the Baburka region, which were pointed out yesterday. These forces were supposed to be used for a counterattack with the aim of deblocking the Donetsk grouping of the armed forces of Ukraine. The shelling of Donetsk was carried out again, 4 women were killed there in the area of Tekstilshchikov. The left bank district of Mariupol came under the control of the Donetsk People's Republic, and this is a map of the Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics as of the evening. It is a little outdated, the territory controlled by the troops of the republics has increased during this time. Less than 10% of the territory of the Lugansk Republic remains under the control of the troops of the Kiev regime, and a little more of Donetsk. There is a video from the village of Bobrovka near Kharkov. This is near the village of Tsyrkyny. There is the ring road, where Russian troops are already evacuating abandoned Ukrainian equipment. Ombudsman of the Kiev regime Denisova drew attention to the fact that only in Kharkov 3 cases were recorded, at least 3 cases, of the death of people who were tied to poles on charges of looting. Whether these people were marauders is unknown to anyone. There are cases when those who refused to join the territorial defense forces were tied to poles. The mayor of Kharkov, Terekov, wants to rename the streets and squares of the city, subtract all Russian names from them, apparently, including Moskovsky Prospect. In this regard, the quote, "While the enemy draws maps and prepares an offensive, we change landscapes and manually. When the time comes for an attack, the enemy is lost in unfamiliar terrain and comes to full sky readiness. That's the point, that's our strategy." Ensign of the DNP. And one more news. The environmental inspection of the Kiev regime accused Russia of unblocking the North Crimean Canal and spilling Dnieper water for 2.2 billion rubles. No comment. Well, at this time in Sevastopol again March, such a March that this morning it was 7 degrees below zero. And again the Black Sea Fleet is remembered, again the ships of the Black Sea Fleet are towing the captured equipment of the Ukrainian fleet. This is becoming a good tradition. And one more news, in connection with the ban on the supply of dollar and euro banknotes to Russia, domestic entrepreneurs announced their readiness to start issuing them independently from their own raw materials and using local equipment. The quality is guaranteed to be as good as the originals. The resumption of the work of the airport in the city of Simferopol has been postponed until the 26th. By this time, they expect to complete the cleansing of the Black Sea coast of the Kherson region, primarily from air defense systems, and, thereby, the safety of the corridor for civil aviation flights. Now about what is happening in the world. Well, briefly. The presented photo should be called pogrom in second hand. It was made at one of the sites in Poland. Humanitarian aid came there from Germany for Ukrainian refugees, who simply gutted the boxes, took away all the most valuable things, and simply abandoned everything else. The aircraft carrier Shandong of the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy today proceeded with escort ships through the Taiwan Strait in the north direction. The Greek Ministry of Defense announced that the country does not plan to supply Ukraine with S-300 air defense systems. An agreement on a strategic partnership between Russia and Iran is being worked out. Pakistan wants to speed up the construction of a pipeline from Russia to Pakistan. Well, as you can see, the whole world is with us, for some reason it turned out to be not all, and not with you. And lastly, learn geography, remember. This is all. All good. Goodbye.